Are we finally going to see this continuation even higher? Because yes, we saw this failed move equals a fast move in the opposite direction. So does this mean that Bitcoin is finally going to turn around in these regions? We're going to look at all of the facts and charts, but most importantly, we're going to find out why we saw this massive pump towards the upside. So if you're still watching this channel without being subscribed, smash up the like button and subscribe, and most importantly, activate the bell so that you always stay up to date. Welcome back to B from Crypto, and yes, today we're going to start with the charts and then we're going to look at the news, why we saw this massive pump towards the upside, and I hope you all are doing great on this massive pump because yes, Bitcoin reached the level of $30,000. So what is really going to be important, that Bitcoin is going to come back above this major resistance zone round about the $30,000 level, and that we could expect that Bitcoin is going to turn around exactly in these regions. But let's go on the higher time frames on the daily chart of Bitcoin, and yes, we can see we had this perfect wick towards the downside and we perfectly bounced off from this downward sloping trend from this massive megaphone pattern that we have been forming for Bitcoin. So yes, we are back in this major resistance zone, so maybe we're not going to see this dump even lower all the way to the $28,000 level, where we can see this massive support and also this upward sloping trend. So yes, this would be a perfect turnaround point for Bitcoin, that we are going to form a higher high and eventually see a price target of $33,000, the top of this major range. And we would also form a higher high for Bitcoin, and this would be extremely bullish. But guys, let's go on the even higher time frames on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, and yes, we can see that we're in this major resistance zone, and this was previous support from the bull market. So yes, this is going to be a major resistance zone, but if we're going to break out here, yes, we could expect the 33,000 and also the $36,000 that we're going to break. And guys, remember, my price target for the end of the year is going to be this high, round about the $50,000 level. So we could expect this bullish move towards the halvening and then this parabolic run after the Bitcoin halvening. But we're also going to look at Ethereum to find out what we could expect. But first, we're going to go on the lower time frames again on the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin. And yes, we can see we had this move all the way down to the $28,500, and then we saw this massive pump straight back up. And at the moment, we can see that Bitcoin came all the way back down to the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, exactly here at the $29,400. So yes, and we had previous resistance, which hopefully will turn into support. But even if we're going to see a dump all the way back down to the 61.8, this wouldn't break this bullish case, because yes, Bitcoin would still be forming a higher low. And yes, this could be a possibility that we're going to come all the way back down to the 61.8, but at the moment it looks like that Bitcoin wants to hold this level. But guys, on the 15-minute chart, we can see that Bitcoin needs to come above this downward sloping trend round about the $29,600, where we also got some resistance. We tried to hold this level, but Bitcoin had this rejection and came all the way back down. But yes, this is going to be a bullish case if we're going to break this downward sloping trend and also this major resistance at the $29,000 all the way to the $30,000. So we could expect this fast move towards the upside. And guys, if we're going to break this level of $30,000, we could expect that Bitcoin is going to come all the way back up into this range of 30,000 to all the way at $31,000. And then it's really going to be important that Bitcoin is going to carry on even higher with this bullish move. But what is going to happen if we're going to lose this level and Bitcoin is going to come all the way back down? Then I expect that Bitcoin is going to have one last wick down to the support at $28,000. But guys, I think we're going to see a bullish move for Bitcoin and that we're going to come once again back above the $31,000 level. But let's go over to Ethereum to find out what is Ethereum doing before we're going to go over to the news and try to find out why we saw this pump towards the upside. So first of all, on the daily chart for Ethereum, we can see yes, we're pretty much going sideways. We had this wick towards the downside, and yes, we can see we perfectly bounced off from this upward sloping trend. But let's go on the weekly chart, and yes, we could see that Ethereum had this perfect bounce from this upward sloping trend that we have been forming from the beginning of the year. Actually, from the end of last year, we saw this bullish move towards the upside. Ethereum came down, had this retest, and then we saw this bullish bounce exactly from this trend line. And once again we saw a consolidation, formed this higher high, and we had this perfect retest exactly at this trend line. And once again we are perfectly at this level. So is this maybe the leading indication that Bitcoin is going to follow, and that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to form a higher high, and finally Ethereum is going to break the $2,000 level? It is really going to be important that yes, a weekly candle is going to close above this level for Ethereum, above the $1,847, and for Bitcoin we have to stay above the $28,000 and close a weekly candle above this level. But yes, on the 4-hour chart we can see that it's really important that Bitcoin is going to hold the 61.8, otherwise we could expect a further move towards the downside, coming all the way back down to the $28,000 level, right at this trend line. But guys, I think we're going to see this bullish move. Maybe we're going to see one small retracement towards this trend line, round about the 50% level, and then we're going to see this turnaround from this bigger W and break this major resistance round about the $30,000 level. But let's go over to the DXY. And yes, we could see that the DXY had this major push towards the upside, and we thought that we're going to form this lower high exactly here. But no, the DXY turned around and we also saw this pump towards the upside. But now we're coming to this downward sloping trend, so maybe we're going to see a fake out. But yes, maybe we're going to see this pump all the way to the 104 level before we're going to see a retracement. But at the moment I think the dollar currency index is maybe going to form a lower high, and then we could expect that yes, Bitcoin is going to get this fast move even higher, breaking the $30,000 level. But now let's go over and find out why we saw this pump towards the upside. Breaking, MicroStrategy bought 467 more Bitcoin for $14.4 million. So yes, MicroStrategy from Michael Saylor bought even more Bitcoin, and we're going to find out how much Bitcoin do they even own. Yes, MicroStrategy bought 125,000 Bitcoin as of June 27th. So yes, we can see that the average buying price of MicroStrategy was round about the $29,800, and that is also exactly where the price movement is at the moment. Michael Saylor exactly knows what time it is, and he's buying even more Bitcoin, because if we go over to the next article, just in MicroStrategy to raise up to 750 million to buy even more Bitcoin. So yes, we can clearly see that MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor exactly knows what time it is, and he's buying even more Bitcoin, and that is also exactly what you should do. So if you want to buy crypto on the spot market or trade it on a leverage market, go down in the video description below and follow my links to FairDesk, BitGet or even OKX. And on OKX you'll receive a mystery box by just signing up, and on FairDesk we have a major giveaway of $50 trading bonus by just signing up and opening one futures trade, because clearly we're going to get a bullish move. And why? Yes, if we go over to this chart, then we're going to compare the 2014 and 2017 bull market with the 2023 bull market that we could expect, and we're just entering phase A. So yes, we're going to get this bullish move towards the halvening in phase A, and after the Bitcoin halvening in phase 2, we could expect the beginning of this major bull run, and in phase 3, we could expect this bullish move, this parabolic run all the way to the moon. And why to the moon? Stargazers observed 1st of August ultra rare double supermoon. And now you're asking yourself, what does this have to do with crypto? The moon phases or full moon? Yes, we can see this is the weekly chart of Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you an indicator which is called the moon phases. So we're going to observe the moon phases, and yes, here we can see we had a full moon, then we saw this pump towards the upside, then we had a new moon, we had the dump, full moon, we had the pump, and you can see each and every time we had a full moon, we had a bullish move towards the upside. Here we can see we had a new moon, we had the dump, full moon, we had the pump, full moon, massive pump towards the upside, new moon, we saw the price movement go down, full moon, afterwards we saw a bullish move, and here we perfectly can see full moon, bullish move towards the upside, and so on. And at the moment we can see, yes, we are exactly at the full moon, and we could expect another full moon in August, another super moon. So is this giving us the leading indication that we're going to see this massive move all the way to the moon? No. Firstly, back above the $33,000 level. So guys, make sure to watch my next videos, and make sure to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. And if you want to buy Bitcoin on the spot market or trade it on a leverage market, go down in the video description below, smash up the like button and subscribe, and most importantly, be for crypto, and we see each other in the next video.